the things that you realize when you do motorcycle riding is you go back to areas that you've been before and you can see like tremendous change. 2 years ago, I remember, actually it was just over 2 years ago, I remember going to that village. It was thriving, there were people there, shops were open, businesses were open, restaurants were open. And going there this time, the place was just completely devastated because of COVID. Small businesses in cities were hurting as well, and some closed. But when you go to communities like the one I was heading off to, whose sole income were people that were going to visit and go hiking in the area and then going in the restaurants and the B&Bs and the cafes that were there, that was actually what kept that little community alive. I mean, seeing it that way, it's just disgusting. And I know this is not going to be the politically correct thing to say, but China's responsible for all this bullshit that many people have been going through for 2 years and even longer. The long-term effects of what China did are just going to be not lasting for 1 year or 2 years, but for the next 5 to 10 years. The China flu, the Chinese virus, whatever you want to call it. We can be politically correct, we'll just call it COVID. But we all know where it came from, and China is never going to be held responsible for the devastation they caused to small business owners everywhere. If you're in the city, of course, you have a far better chance of survival. When you're in a mountain area where you rely heavily on people visiting, forget it. Just forget it. I mean, it's rather shocking when you see that kind of thing like firsthand. And what China created are not like short-term effects, these are long-term effects, and they're not being held responsible. Just disgusting what the Chinese did. And of course they lied through their teeth. Investigators went, they discovered that evidence was destroyed. I'm not surprised. The reality, of course, is China can never be trusted. We're never going to find the truth of what really happened. But we're seeing the effects of what's happened. Well, it's an absolutely another gorgeous day, as you can see from the sky behind me. And today, I am heading up this mountain road that you can see behind me right now that goes to a place called Wulai. But actually, I'm not heading to Wulai itself. I want to head to an aboriginal village. This is a bit of an aboriginal area. And you'll see from the video on the side of the road, I think at some points, some of the aboriginal art. So, without further ado, let's get going. Actually, we're almost at the Aboriginal village that I was telling you about. But the last time that I was up here was maybe, I think probably more than 2 years ago. And the thing about this road, as you can probably see, it's quite narrow. And all along the way, there's signs everywhere about rock falls. Because whenever there's a substantial earthquake, after it's been raining a lot, this road does tend to get washed out every now and again. Um, I don't know how much you can see from the GoPro camera, but there are still remnants of the last time that it was washed out. I think maybe about 6 months ago, the road was closed off for maybe like 6 weeks before they can open it up. And this is the only road to the village that we're going to. Yeah, I mean, it is quite cut. I mean, this is how cut off it is. Just before I was going to do a little bit of Instagramming, and I cannot even get a mobile signal here. I mean, we are literally in a valley crevice surrounded by mountains everywhere. So a mobile signal is quite, if you're lucky, there's a few areas where you can get it, but like here, there is absolutely no mobile signal at all. Mind you, there's nobody that actually lives in this area, so it doesn't really matter. But I mean, even if you're using Google Maps, it doesn't matter anyway because there's only one road and you can't really go anywhere else. Anyway, let me show you a little bit of the surrounding.